quite the sing-along and swear-along happening in the studio this afternoon to Stephen Sanchez. I'm Helen Farmer. I'm really glad you're here. We've got lots to think about, lots to learn about. We're talking eye health after past. But right now, looking at the scores coming in on 4001, we've got an 8 out of 10. We've got a 15 out of 10. We've got a 6 today, but usually a 9. I'm asking, how stressed are you? Well, we're here to help. Happy World Kindness Day. We are talking about the importance of kindness, self-kindness, and especially in light of emotional intelligence and our well-being, because a recent study by Cigna Healthcare has revealed a 17-point drop in mental well-being scores here in the UAE, standing at now just 57%. Magda Snowden is with us. She's a mental agility and leadership coach. She's a former nurse herself, working in the NHS for 15 years and works a lot with healthcare providers, helping them anticipate and ideally avoid burnout, but has got really actionable advice for everybody listening today, whatever industry or stage of life you are in. I had a really interesting message that I wanted to read out to you, Magda, get your take on it. This is from Karina, who said, I think pace and demand in the UAE has changed a lot in the last 10 years. It felt more easygoing and relaxed when I arrived from London. The increase in populations brings higher demand for competition for jobs and therefore an increase in demand from employers. The UAE in general has been raising regulations and protocol in the country, which is a good thing, but also adds expectation and pressure, which not all employees know how to manage when communicating down. Finally, it's the smaller things. Like you said, increase in population, like extra traffic on the roads, harder to get appointments. It all adds up to an increase in stress and anxiety. You are nodding along, Magda Snowden. What's your take on that?
This is exactly the same message that I am getting from healthcare professionals, from clients that I work with. I am overwhelmed. I cannot keep up with the pace. And when I start the conversation, I almost have a picture in front of me of an individual who is running on the treadmill. The speed is increasing and they don't know how to stop. They don't know how to stop. They don't know how to ask for help, because this type of conversation is not a mainstream conversation.
No. Okay, what I don't want this conversation to be is everyone's stressed. We know that. I don't want it to be, okay, let's do some breathing at the traffic lights. But, through your training in mental agility, in leadership, through what you're doing with really, hands-on work, what have you learned that we can all learn from and implement in our daily practice as individuals or indeed in organisations? What are some of your top tips, Magda?
For humans to change, we need to understand something. So I bring to the table simple solutions, like 3-step solution. So for example, awareness, choice, change. With awareness, I already have awareness that I am stressed, something is going on, I am not happy with the situation. I can make a better choice, and with this better choice, I'm going to produce a better outcome. Again, just because I come from healthcare, and with regards to well-being, there isn't a prescription. I don't issue prescription, and there isn't a prescription that we can issue to everyone and say, use it, you're going to be less stressed. So it's almost like a trial and error. We need to try different interventions and see what is working for us. If it's working, please continue, stick to it. It takes 28 days to develop a new habit. And then when you have a good positive outcome on an individual level, please share it with others so we can have this positive impact in our community, reducing stress and improving well-being.
What have you done in the workplace that might surprise us when you think, okay, that's an unusual way of improving employee wellness or overall mood?
One of the practices that I have introduced in a private hospital in Kuwait that I used to work in was gratitude as a standard leadership practice in all meetings.
So, okay, what does that look like? We're around the boardroom and we're all going around like it's Thanksgiving dinner?
So imagine we have senior leadership meeting with the nurses. We come to the room, and instead of a business conversation or, KPIs, strategies, and so on, we start talking about what is going on well in our life, not only professional level, but also on human level. And what I've learned from it, and it is supported by science, it is supported by research, when we connect on a human level, and I see you as Helen, not as a presenter or, in your professional capacity, the conversation moves in a totally different way. Mm-hmm. People start being more creative, more productive. They start appreciating the input that they have on organizational level. It's a magical practice almost.
So if you could wave a magic wand over everyone listening today, what could or should we be implementing as individuals for our own well-being, but also contributing to an improved mental state of the whole UAE?
Acknowledge the situation. Start the conversation. You can start the conversation yourself. You don't need to wait for someone else. It's not your organization. It's not your boss. If you can be the champion, and I know how hard it is, I'm not, underappreciating that it is not easy to be the one person who starts well-being conversation in an organization. Mm-hmm. But myself, I was that person last year. I started a conversation with a fellow colleague. She's also a nurse, and we started an initiative called Thriving Together. We are now having weekly LinkedIn Lives on Thriving Together, unveiling solutions for stress and burnout in healthcare and beyond. And last week, we have recorded our first podcast studio called From Hero to Human. We need to start shifting the narrative from being the heroic, hero flying around 200% productivity and always on and always digitally connected to embracing the human.
Well said, Magda Snowden. Thank you so much. I've had people asking for your details, so if you want to send me the word "well," would that make sense? I'll send you Magda's details. We've also tagged her in her Instagram story. Thank you so much. Let's have a conversation in a few months, see if we can get that Cigna healthcare score a little bit higher.
Your ARN News.
Good afternoon. I'm Noni Edwards.